Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Nensi Fadilah. I'm from PBI 3. Okay, in this video, I want to read the article Literal Reading Chapter 10. Is there a safe way to drink? I have devoted most of my professional life to the problem of alcohol and its abuse. Almost recently, as director of the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. So I've spent much of my time confronting that fact that alcohol is a drug and that alcohol abuse is the most serious drug problem this nation faces. Nonetheless, I believe firmly that alcohol can do more good than harm, for there is a safe way to drink. Pharmacologically, alcohol is an anesthetic, not stimulant. In moderate amounts, it appears to stimulate because it inhibits those brain centers which restrict. Less suffice outbursts as well as those which make us aware of exertion, then will feel physically weak and emotionally fair. But with increasing doses, alcohol puts to sleep the brain center with the effect judgment, knowledge, and social controls. Suspicion dosage can put us to sleep for keeps by anesthetizing the center which control breathing and heartbeat. Responsible people, therefore, must choose rather carefully the time, place, and circumstances of drinking. Obviously, if you were to engage in complex mental physical activities, writing, driving, business, it is perfectly appropriate to be under the influence of the anesthetic drug. On the other hand, if you are going to be sharing a meal of some other human interchange in a relaxed way, alcohol can be a rewarding enjoyment to experience a true servant of man. An essential point is that there is no safe level of drinking. In favoring the second report, the Congress on Alcohol and Health, we found that researchers all over the world were independently using the same level to define safe or moderate drinking 1/2 ounce of pure alcohol per day, the equivalent of 3 on 1 ounce drink of 100 proof whiskey, which is 50% alcohol, for 8-ounce glasses of beer or half a bottle of wine. This limit, of course, is only a statistical average. For some people, even 1 drop of alcohol is too much. Nor do our findings permit saving up 1 day's ration in order to drink more the next day. At no time should any individual wishing to remain within the safe limits consume more than 1/2 ounce of pure alcohol in the single day. Studies show that the driver who has consumed amount of alcohol within this limit is no more likely to have an automobile accident than the driver who does not take any alcohol. But beyond this limit, with the blood alcohol level, the concentration of alcohol in the blood begins to creep over the 5% sugar level, the risk of a traffic accident jumps enormously by the time the blood alcohol level reaches 0 to 2%. The level of most drunk drivers who are arrested, the risk of an accident is 100 times that of the non-drink driver. The manner of drinking is also crucial. One should always sip slowly. Alcohol is a highly unusual foodstuff in that less 20% of it absorbed directly from the stomach into the bloodstream without going through any digestive process. Therefore, gulping alcohol produces a sudden marked rise in the alcohol level in the blood and hence in the brain. Once alcohol in the bloodstream, nothing with the expansion of a kidney. The Ellis machine can clear it from the blood more quickly than the body's own steady metabolic rate. The metabolic rate of 3/4 of the ounce of pure alcohol per hour. Another rule of safe drinking is that food is the stomach preferably protein or fatty product, effectively delays alcohol invasion of our system. Food covers the stomach wall, making capillaries less accessible. It also sponges up the alcohol and series it gradually through the digestive process, slowing absorption and allowing the metabolism and brain to adapt so as any experiences drinker knows. The same does taking with food in the stomach will period of more pleasant outcome the alcohol on an empty stomach. A number of other factors also include how the response to a drink. It's best not to take alcohol when physically or emotionally upset, lonely or in need of the solace. It is true that alcohol's anesthetic effect will dull the pain of loneliness. But alcohol is not substitute for another person. In other words, do not drink alone. It's also best to drink in a relaxed setting. If I had to come up with an unhealthy drinking situation, I would have created the America Child Party, standing around comfortably and crowds of people, most of whom one does not know. One tends to call that first drink. People like to think that the alcohol at cocktail parties makes it easier to get acquainted, and they decide the fact that strangers frequently pour out intimate detail of their lives. In my judgment, the stranger sharing intimacies to friendly is not relation to you. He is relating to himself. A medical college once asked this at the cocktail party when a woman was pouring out her heart to him. "I have just murdered my grandmother," he said. The woman smiled sweetly, said, "Is that nice?" and babbled. Regardless of where and how you drink, what you expect from alcohol is what you get. As we almost all drug, expansion is strongly related to outcome. If you are part of a group that wants to act drunk, even with small doses, you feel drunk. It's best than to drink with people who set expectations that are socially useful and not destructive. Too many Americans breastfeed with drinking while in this regard. We spend a good deal of time thinking about drinking or talking about it. Our liquor advertisement imply that alcohol is proof of sophistication, unworldliness, or else is funny. Just think about how we laugh when a comedian acts drunk. Thinking something is funny is society's way of giving it social sanction. It is also a sign of discomfort, for jokes are a safe way to vent different worries. Study after study has shown that America are uncomfortable, ambivalent, almost guilt-ridden about their use of alcohol. Why is this country so uptight about drinking? In my opinion, one major reason is that our society places a great deal of stock in order and control, and being overdosed with a drink means being out of control. When we see someone who has lost control, it threatens our sense of control. Alcoholism is threatening because so many of us use alcohol. When we see an alcoholic, we are afraid that we could become alcoholic also. If your culture were more open and less quality about alcohol, I think we could do more people with alcohol problem. We may also do more for our children. Surveys complete in 1975 show that children in this century between the age of 12 and 17 are already manifesting several alcohol abuse. In fact, 5% of these kids get drunk at least once a week. What can parents do? For one thing, they can alter the use of alcohol in the home. I contend that we teach our children about alcohol very early. Toddlers notice that when mommy and daddy drink this particular liquid, they behave differently. The children can miss the fact that it's something special, especially when we tell them they can't have it because it's not good for you. I see no harm in becoming more relaxed about alcohol in the home, even giving your child a taste if you are drinking and he won't yet. Why not? Or other cultures do, in a matter-of-fact way. Chinese, Lebanese, Spanish, Jewish, and Italian people do not think there is anything special about giving alcohol to their young. Nobody makes a fuss about it, and this culture uses alcohol without appreciable problem. Indeed, a way to focus on alcohol in the context of alcoholism is, I think, to miss the point. If you are presuffused with alcohol, if your other in your environment are discomforted by this privatization, if alcohol interferes with your ability to function in other necessary ways, then you have an alcohol problem. Our country, our country is concerned, very concerned this day with safety and health. We have to remind ourselves that anything that affects human beings has a potential for harm. In great quantity, even oxygen and water, those essentials of life, can harm our skill or kill. So life is a risk, and I suspect the only sure way to be safe from disease and dying is to be dead. But there are set limits that people can use in making their decisions about risk taking, such as choosing to drink or not drink, or how much to drink. We ought to share with young and all alike the best available knowledge on such subject, and then let each individual make us hear his or her own mind. Okay, I think enough. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.